Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team. I got contradicting what I said in that earlier week. Okay, Monday's video, I was like, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. I can't do it. After review, I was wrong. What is going on, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football, back at it again. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started in the video, a couple things we got to say. All right, first, everybody, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please share with your friends. I appreciate all that very much. It helps the channel grow. Anything I can do to get this channel going, the bigger we get this channel going, the more cool stuff I'm going to be doing. I've already got some ideas about how I'm going to expand this thing out, but got to get those subs up. Hopefully I can earn it today. One other thing, too. All right, you see this? Okay, Master Football shirts, okay? In the description, okay, there's going to be a link for Kenzi's Kustoms, an Instagram page. Go ahead and go there. Friends of the channel, please go there. Please order some shirts if you want to. Again, I really would love it if you got yourself a Master Football shirt out there. Show me it, represent. I'd appreciate that. But let's get into the video. Okay, to start this video off, I think we're going to go to a very, very smart man, okay, a very, very smart man that I really want to pick his brain on a certain topic. I've been talking about Jimmy Garoppolo recently, and I want to pick a very, very intelligent person's brain and see what they think.
It's will Jimmy G be the quarterback after the trading deadline? So there's a weird intersection of a lot of things. I might even make my own video about this, but the Niners simultaneously have a ton of talent, and they have a young quarterback, and they have a veteran quarterback, and they're like, okay, so what do we do here? Is there a record we have to meet in order for us to keep this guy? Do we get rid of Jimmy G because it's kind of a self-defeating prophecy? Where if Jimmy G's highest trade value is going to be if the team's successful. If the team's successful, you won't want to trade Jimmy G. It's kind of a vicious cycle right there. So now that's the big question mark. Is in November and December, is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be the starting quarterback for the Niners?
Dude, that guy's awesome, man. I'll tell you what right now. But let's go ahead and get into this. So you saw that right there, kind of set it up. I talked about that on Monday. You know, what do they want to do here? How do we kind of work this? I will bring it back to here. So there was a time there where Jimmy Garoppolo was on the trade block. It was really persistent to the Patriots. So a lot of rumors, hey, they're going to go to the Patriots. Hey, he's going to go to the Patriots. This May 4th is after the first round. Ultimately, the Patriots decided to select Mac Jones out of Alabama, 15th overall. He fell to them. It got all the stars kind of aligned and everything like that, so they went ahead and did that. A lot of people thought he was still going to get traded, but it just didn't happen. So you saw that the market really dried up for Jimmy Garoppolo to be traded after the draft. A lot of those teams eventually filled their quarterback positions, and so I mean, you lose your leverage in that instance just because the market has been flooded with a new crop of quarterbacks to pick from. Free agents have signed. There's lots of dominoes that have kind of fallen. So the Niners kind of missed the height of when they could have traded for him. I want to go ahead and bring it up why they're even talking about trading him. I mean, 2 years ago, this guy was in the Super Bowl. But let's kind of look into that a little bit more here. So let's check it out. So I've got Jimmy Garoppolo's stats here. So obviously remember 2014, 2015, 2016, he was on the New England Patriots. 2017, you see how he's only got 6 games played in, 5 starts, 5-0. The team was really, really bad, but he came in there, won those last 5 games. Everybody was like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. He's got 7 touchdowns, 5 picks. That's not very great, but he's got 5 wins. Very next season, a lot of people are like, oh, dude, this is the guy. He's 3 games, 3 starts. He's 1-2, and he's out for the rest of the season. The next season, he comes in, bam, he has a great year. So he 16 games, 16 starts, 13-3, 27 touchdowns, 13 picks. They were up big in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Just couldn't pull it out. But you saw how good he is and what he's able to do. However, you see this. The first year he was there, 5-0. Second year, 1-2 and gets injured. Third year, 13-3 and goes to the Super Bowl. Fourth year, last year, 3-3. Only played 6 games, 6 starts, and then got injured for the rest of the season. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And, you know, now that's where they're at. And then eventually they went ahead and picked Trey Lance in the draft. So that's where they're at. They're like, well, we're going to trade him maybe. That market has kind of evaporated. But they were talking about, maybe Trey Lance. We'll see. Maybe we're going to sit him. We're going to do a whole Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation where he plays for a year, gets a red shirt, then comes in and lights the league up. It might be something like that. So we saw that the article basically said that the Patriots thing is done. Now, I want to go ahead and bring up a couple things here so we can see not only what the odds are for him to get traded, what those most recent stats were, but a couple other things. Let's check out those odds really quickly. So right here, I've got a sportsbettingdime.com odds where Jimmy Garoppolo will play week 1 of the NFL season. Now remember, this is March 30th. This is before the draft. I do think this does provide us some clarification as to who the final kind of teams are. So Niners are the heavy favorite. Then the Patriots, that Patriots has evaporated out. Okay, Denver Broncos did get Teddy Bridgewater. Minnesota Vikings, they have Kirk Cousins. They drafted Kellen Mond. They have the Houston Texans, where we don't know what's happening with Deshaun Watson, and Tyrod Taylor is projected to be the starter. Carolina Panthers still have Sam Darnold there. So of those teams, I mean, the most likely that I would say would be Denver Broncos. They have already traded for Teddy Bridgewater, so I don't know. I mean, if they want to necessarily do that, is that a huge upgrade over those other two guys? Drew Lock is talented but inconsistent. Teddy Bridgewater is consistent but just not very talented. Do you want to have a guy who's, it's really hard to see any of these happening on paper. So in my video on Monday, I went ahead and I said, what are the conditions? Is he actually going to play? It's looking more and more like he's going to, and I actually want to bring up a couple of things here because we want to look at not only the trade deadline, but also see the games that they're going to be playing up until that trade deadline. So here we are. This is called thelines.com. These are the most recent lines I have for these games. So you'll see here we have week 1. The line is the Niners are favored by 7.5. It's at the Detroit Lions. And then we have week 2. It's at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Niners are favored by 5. We have down here, we have week 8. The Niners are favored by 3.5. Then the rest of that, we have a bye week. And we have, we're kind of waiting on these ones right here. OTB, we're just kind of chilling on that. So you see that. So that's an away game, and then an away game. Now, after this, you have to remember, is after this Chicago Bears game, the trade deadline is November 2nd. So after this game, a couple days, you're going to have that trade deadline. So we already see that they're favored in 1, 2, 3 games. So we're assuming, and those are pretty good. I mean, 3.5 is a lot of points. 5.5 is a lot. 7.5 is a lot. So we're seeing the fact that they're heavily favored in those 3 games. Those other games they have, though, I mean, Green Bay at home is tough. Seahawks at home is tough. At the Cardinals is never going to be an easy game. Home and prime time against the Colts, a big physical team, a playoff team from last year. So you see that right there. I mean, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, they win these 3 away games, and then they split these games. That means they're going to be at 5-2 heading into the bye week. 5-2 it's tough to look at your team right now, 5-2, and want to trade your quarterback. So this is purely hypothetical right now, but I have 4 situations, okay? There's 2 variables in how they alternate, okay? It's how the Niners are doing and how they are compared to the division. So if the Niners are doing well, but the division is doing well, they still might look at that. Let's just say they're 5-2, but then we see, the Rams are 7-0, 8-0 or something like that. They still may be like, man, this is going to be tough, okay? That right there, I'm still going to give them a maybe, probably a lower maybe, okay? The next one we have is the Niners are doing well, and they're dominating the division. They're 5-2. Everybody else is 4-3, 3-4, 2-5, something like that. I think they keep Jimmy G. They ride it out. They see what happens, okay? They're not going to trade him in that instance. The next one is they're not doing well, but the division's not doing well. Kind of like a last year's NFC East situation where, you're 4-8-1, but you're like 2 games out of first place or something like that. I think in that instance, it's still going to be a maybe just because even if you limp into the playoffs, dude, just getting into the playoffs is a huge accomplishment. So I think that they still might keep that one going. And then the last one is they're not doing well and the division's doing well. So let's just say they come out, they go 2-5. The Seahawks are 5-2, and the Rams are 6-1, and the Cardinals are 4-3, and you're in last place, and it's not looking good. I think that would be the strongest likelihood that they do trade Jimmy Garoppolo. But again, like I said, from the looks of it, okay, if I'm a betting man right now, 5-2 is pretty reasonable for them right now. Again, that's before we even start the season. A lot's going to change throughout these years. There's a lot of turnover in these seasons from team to team, so we don't know how that's going to go. But more than likely, if I'm a betting man, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team. I got contradicting what I said in that earlier week, okay? Monday's video, I was like, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. I can't do it. After review, I was wrong. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Please Go to Kenzi's Customs, get some t-shirts out there. We love all that stuff. And if you have any questions in the comments right now, if you're a Niners fan, what would be the situation which you would trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and what would you keep him under? Put that down there. Let's get it going. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys on Friday.